Good Monday morning, everybody. Back to work. I have work. Getting some jobs I like here. I like the little stuff. I like the punch list. I don't want to do like a whole house of flooring or paint. It's harder because like you'll go do a little thing and then like you gotta go find another gig, you know what I mean? But like this house I was just at, so it's not super morning for me, but they just wanted a new window. Okay, and then we find out that like they didn't really know much about, they're gonna start renting. They don't really know much about what the inspector's gonna look for, and so I even ran around the house looking for that and found some pretty funky stuff. So that ended up, now it's a few day job, you know what I mean? And it's the stuff that I like to do, you know, and stuff, so that's cool. Yeah, what a killer weekend, as you could see. And for my goals, my health goals, I don't know, I'll pat myself on the back. I'm kind of rocking it. So the social part of that men's conference is huge. It's just a big dose. Now, I've never been one to keep like friends that I see frequently or anything. So just mine is kind of like going to events, seeing them there, going to church, seeing them there, and that kind of stuff. Otherwise, my friends are mainly Linda's family. But yeah, the smoking is going great. I think I smoked 2 yesterday, 2 cigarettes. I'm still on the e-cig. I'm not really worried about quitting that, but the cigarettes, that's the ones I've been doing for decades. And a lot of different chemicals in there to get off of. It's not just nicotine you're addicted to when you're smoking a cigarette, I'll tell you that. Otherwise, Nicorette gum would work just fine. It's not just nicotine. Besides it being the ritual and the motion, there's a lot of other chemicals in there. One of them being acetaldehyde. I don't know if you remember my spiel on how alcoholism works, but acetaldehyde is a pretty big component. Acetaldehyde is also in a lot of dairy products like cheese and ice cream, cheap coffee. If you ever wonder why an alcoholic who's addicted to a depressant like alcohol sobers up and go to meetings and starts slamming coffee, a stimulant, could be the acetaldehyde. Or heroin addicts, they love ice cream because their system turns acetaldehyde, high quantities of it, into opium. So anyways, so that's going pretty good. I didn't have a morning smoke or nothing. Even drinking a little less coffee, I'm not pounding 2 cups, getting all jacked up, taking everything slower, being real gentle with everybody as much as possible. And that feels good. I don't like being snappy. And the lust part of it, you know, no fat, no porn, that's going great. I'm starting to feel it now. I'm getting a little, you know, it's been days and days, so I'm pretty confident I can stay with that. Any one of these, you can will through the urge pretty good. You know, just like whatever, 5 more minutes, it'll go away or whatever. But it helps a lot when you just focus on having Jesus in your heart, and that's easy to do. Something I never had before. Never tried to quit stuff before with that component, because it's easy to intellectualize it if you're trying to be saved when you've hit a rock bottom. But if you are already practiced and around it a lot, you know, you don't have a prayer life, Me and the little guy pray every night before bed. We pray at dinner. Actually, the little guy prays at dinner. He loves singing a little prayer. Just in general throughout the day, and going to church and events and whatever, and having your spouse be a follower too, which helps. Because you'll forget one night, and you'll both be stressed out, and then all of a sudden, you'll be laying there with your pillow talk, trying to fix the world, and then all of a sudden your spouse will just reach their hand over, and then you both start praying, and it's huge. Just whoa. So yeah, it's all going good. I'm pretty pumped about it, actually. My poor wife, though, she did get back into the groove of trying to do this online hustle, but she's still kind of scared to pull the trigger. So she's going to do Christian women's shirts. It's kind of going to be her shtick. She hasn't even listed one yet, and she's worked on it quite a bit. Now, I had that slow week, so I was able to get it up and running, but she needs to get more comfortable with it. I just listed a shirt right off the bat. The shirt that I listed just to get it going was, what did it say? It just said one phrase: working on it. It's a men's shirt. I'm working on it. So that's, I think it's an Etsy shirt by Jeff store. You'd probably be hard to find that listing because it's probably buried under 30,000 other ones. But I think I'm going to sell crosses again too. I had a couple of old ones that were sitting around I was going to give away, but I might post those up there too for real cheap. They were more or less practice ones. It's all simple. It's a simple thing, but like it takes a while if you're only making one design at a time. And when you're doing kind of new stuff, like I got one of my crosses it's almost like a shelf cross. So it like the middle is hollowed out and all the sides stick out about 3.5 inches, so you can put your wallet, sunglasses, keys up on this cross to put it on the cross. And like I said, they're not small. And if you do that kind of design, I mean, it's just all the outline. It's like the wood is like the outline of a invisible cross. You put your stuff in. You got to make that sturdy. You can't just have it hanging there. So there's a little hardware on there to make it tough and all that stuff too. So all in all, things are going pretty darn good. Now we're off to this next one for the guy who's part of the Uganda community. And I think I told you before, he had me come out and assess all these little things he wanted to do. And I was glad to come out and assess it because this is one of them houses where ain't nothing straightforward. I sent him the write-up, and I said, I'm pricing this a little high because I don't know what I'm running into. I'll lower the cost if it all goes smooth, which I hope it does. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to give you a higher price later on. Like, that's why you're having me assess it. That's why you're having me write it up now. But I don't know, these people can be a little shady. He might want me to, he just probably thought that I'd write it up off the top of my head and just do it at that price. They're kind of sneaky like that sometimes, these people in general. They're like, no, I've already been in this house. I want to go look at exactly what I'm working with. I'm not going to go buy hardware that I didn't know I needed and all this other stuff. So we're going to go, so anyways, he gets a write-up, and he had all these, every single door in the house is off, and nobody labeled them. I don't know where any of the doors go, and upon inspection, it looks like there's a lot of crooked hinges and all this other stuff, and I'm not going to hang a door back on, missing hinge pins, and God knows what else. The bifold closet doors don't even have hardware, no sliders, they're broken. So I priced it high. I'm like, this might take me a day. This might be like a $200 job thing. Just letting you know I'm pricing it high. I hope it's not high. And then he didn't like that very much. And it's like these people, you try to help them out. The more you help them out, the more they get pissed. And then she's like, just do this one thing. This under the sink needs all redone on the boards down there. It's like, just do that and I'll do the rest. Like, good luck with that. Like, have fun. Because he thinks his vanity he bought because of that flood, he thinks the vanity he bought fits good. It doesn't. You're going to need to shim up the back. There's no tile underneath because I didn't tile underneath the old one. And just then you got to do the plumbing. He thinks he knows how to do plumbing, but I don't think he does. So just all those things. Just whatever. Have fun with that. If you don't want to pay someone dirt cheap money to do it right, then you'll fine, do it yourself. You'll call back in a week or two. But anyway, so we're going to go do that. This should be a fun little job. I didn't bring my phone stand, so I don't know how much I'll be filming of it. It's kind of hard without the stand. Kind of got lost in the mix when I was unpacking from that trip. So, it sounds like I got my voice back a little bit. Anyways, I'm going to munch some breakfast here and I'll get back to you. Alrighty, I just finished the job for the Uganda community guy. I didn't have my stand and I just really wanted to get it done and get out of there. It was just that if you've been keeping up with the videos, that under the sink needed a whole new everything. The valves were leaking. I had to wait till a plumber came because the main was leaking too. I wasn't touching it. And you might as well not put fresh boards down there when you got stuff leaking. So got that done. But yeah, so I just told you, me doing a set, or do a write-up, like an estimate for this big old punch list. I really don't know what these people think, like everything is just quick and cheap and free. But, so he's like, I would do it myself. And he had a big fat oopsie on top of the stuff I was already telling you. So I kind of checked it all out. He got like half the doors up, or somebody did. I don't know if he's having the painter guy do it or whatever. If you ask me, he's kind of taking advantage of a church brother with this painter guy. This painter guy is like, I'm sick of doing this kind of work. I'm just going to go punch in and punch out at like a Home Depot or something. I'm like, well, yeah, you're doing everything for free. Like, you can't do that. It's worth it if you charge for your time and not just, you know, like, why would you? Anyways, so I'm checking stuff out. Just doors are fitting. I don't know how much finagling he had to do. It's been like, I don't know. It's been a while. I don't know how many days he was there. But then I go in the bathroom. So he had to buy a new vanity because he flooded the place because he waited a month to get the plumber in there. He didn't want to do it. And then his son turned on the water and it blew one of the valves that I was telling him about. So he needed a whole new vanity. I don't know what they had to do with the floor. And I didn't tile under the vanity because I didn't take out any of the old vanities. He wanted me to keep them in there, make everything cheaper. So he goes and buys this vanity that's got an arch in the bottom, so it's hollow. And there's no tile under it. You can't see it though. I mean, it works. And he got it. I go in the bathroom and he got it in there, kinda. Like there's like a good inch gap from the side to the wall. I'm like, what's up with that? And I see that the faucet is just kind of hanging there. I'm like, uh-oh. Like someone either got exhausted or there's some kind of oopsie. And I look underneath, and where the water line comes out of the wall with the valve with the knob is right on the divider where the big, cab area meets the drawers. He wanted to get classy and get some drawers in there. He didn't measure it out. So there's no way to fix it. He's got to get a new vanity. Do it yourself, man. Figure it out. So that's a big, like, if there wasn't drawers there, you could maybe cut out that little divider thing, but it's like right on there. I shouldn't laugh. It's just a little vain, but whatever. But yeah, I got those pictures I just sent you. I don't know if you remember what it did look like. That's what it looks like now. I was going to stain that bottom piece to match, But there's just tools everywhere. That's kind of how I started that house. The guy, just not the painter guy, but the owner, trying to do his little things, just has every tool he owns just scattered all throughout the house in the garage. And then the painter's got his stuff there too. And at least some of his stuff it looked like was left. And I couldn't find the stain that I had brought last week. I found it when I was packing up and leaving. So it's a little off color, whatever, you can handle it. I think I hit like just the amount of time that I wanted. I think that I estimated on that. So, and that wasn't an easy one. I had to put in like a little frame, and like those front boards aren't fun. You got to put a vent there because there's a vent in the middle right underneath the sink. Forgot to get wood. I had a thin board. It was just my board, a scrap board, trying to save money. But I did have those vinyl tiles. I'm like, I'll slap these things on there. That'll reinforce it enough. If it sags down, oh well, but I doubt it will. Come on, dude. It's the pedal on the right. Maybe your car doesn't work that good. It's making a funny noise. Yeah. Gotta handle that. You're on the freeway. You can't be crawling. So anyways, it went good. I completed it. It felt good to get done. We said the one this morning went good. I'm kind of done early today. It's like 2:30. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to rest or just keep on keeping on or what here. I could spend an hour unpacking and packing up for tomorrow. So that's why I'm pretty low on the pay scale, but I'm $40 an hour. But the reason that's not like, that's including drive time and stuff, is like, people don't understand there's prep, there's buying the material, supplies, tools, there's loading your car with what you need, especially if there's more than one thing you gotta do, knowing what you need, like I said, planning it out a little bit, planning out when you can go there, just all these little things. So I mean, I'm still technically working. Like, I've timed it out till when I get home, but then I still gotta unload stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, they just think of like whatever it might have taken to get it done. And like this guy, he wanted me to run through there for, takes whatever, 20 minutes to get there, 20 minutes to get home, and run around in there for 20 minutes to look at what he needs done and try to prophecy or whatever, outlook any potential WTFs, what the fucks, and then spend the time to look up how much the parts are going to cost, write it all up on a little estimate sheet, send it to him, wait for his phone call just for someone to be like, nah, I just want you to do this one little thing. Oh, what the... And it's like, it's not the first time I met the guy. He knows it's going to cost money to do these things, but whatever, that's just comes territory. So yeah, I'm just gonna go home and eat a sandwich and maybe grab my stand and maybe show you some crosses that I'm gonna put online here. They're fun to make, I love it. But yeah, I'll see you in a bit. So I suppose I'll show you a couple of the crosses I got left over. I really like this one, except it's got to be like in the sunlight, otherwise it looks like it's almost black. But if it's in the sunlight, it's really cool blue. And there's like a rustic white one underneath that, same size and everything. Those are fun to make. Here's one of them shelf ones I was talking about. See how it's coming out. You can put whatever you want on there. This is a blue one. But yeah, you just take that up there and you can pretty much throw all your little knickknacks on there. I got one more. I might start making a couple of these kind of double crosses. show you in the house here. Don't mind my messy home. I got kids. That guy right there. See how it just kind of is big up on the wall? So that's kind of a neat one too.